madness, your ritual!
Yo, 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 what's happening? How's everybody doing? It is fucking Friday. I am actually in a new studio. You may be able to hear it. It's it's different than the one I was in before. Man, 2 weeks have been crazy. I guess I should go through a little bit of it, huh? So I was had everything booked, started booking podcasts for the last month, and I started picking up some ones that I actually wanted to do and talk to some people, and I had some things lined up. And out of the blue, my landlord basically told me that he was terminating the lease with the building that we were in. So it became kind of a situation where at the last minute, well, I guess not last minute, I did get 30 days, but it still was a situation where I was already in that studio and locked in for a while. And I figured, I took a good long break through the summer and, kind of regained my bearings with everything. And I felt like I was on a roll to get these podcasts back up and running again and be a productive part of the music scene here in Minneapolis. I felt like it was time again. And so it just kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, holy shit, now I got to find a new place to go and that type of shit. So I happened to find a new studio and I'm in the house now. Let me see if I can, I'll use this the other camera angle and you can kind of see it a little bit. So little bit better of a situation. I was able to, as you can see, I've got at my last studio in the background. If you go back to some of those other podcasts, there wasn't a lot of artwork in the background. There wasn't a lot of things because of the building I was in. They really wanted to like limit holes in the wall, or I don't know if they had bad tenants at one particular time or not, but it was one of them situations where I couldn't actually express myself. I had a few pieces of tapestries up on the wall, and you guys got to see some of the tie-dye stuff that I had in the background, and it was like tame, and I couldn't really, moving from my original studio in Spring Lake Park, Blaine area, I had a lot of freedom there because I split the room with a bunch of the guys from the NYDM, basically the 5-state chapter of the NYDM, and I had a little bit more creativity with the artwork in there, and I have so many pieces that either friends gave me, I created, or tapestries such as the carcass tapestry, like way in the corner of that the second camera there, up in the top corner there. So I didn't really have a layout that I really wanted. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, really, because I moved in here and I figured, oh shit, now I can really spread it out and get my new location. It's in Plymouth, actually, so it's a bit further than the other one in Blaine. If you'd been to the one in Blaine, it was close to the old Piper off of like 93rd Lane. And it was pretty convenient because it's close to my house. Now, this location is actually between my work and home, so it's a lot easier for me to get to this place after work, and I can do my other work that I do here, my embroidery and whatnot that I have. But with this particular studio, I really wanted to have more art on the walls, more creativity in the room. I just felt like this would be the time to really build up the studio a little bit more. You can't really see it now, but I have a better light setup. The cameras are I'm going to slowly change things up. I have another DSLR camera that I haven't used in a long time, a Canon camera. I've got to get a couple different adapters and get some things worked out with that. So then I'll change the camera angles up a little bit more. I'll get like a full view of the whole table and everybody here at the table, all of us together, and the lighting will be a little bit better. I don't know if you can see the background, if there's any color. There's so much clear light coming at me forward and to the side that you can't really see that I'm trying to give. You can see in the second angle here, you can see the colors in the background of that. And that's what I want to do, is give the room a little bit more depth and kind of, fix it up a little bit more. Well, I got people chiming in here. Okay, let me see here. Adam D, my good buddy Adam, is shooting me some questions here. Well, there was a window, so you couldn't put up artwork. Yeah, there was 3 big windows in that place, in the last one. But this particular one, hey, I just wanted to say, if you're watching this on Facebook, do me a favor and come over to the YouTube channel and watch it on the YouTube channel. It helps me more on the YouTube channel than it does on Facebook, but I do like to do it on Facebook as well, because it kind of lets you guys know that I'm on here. And it's good for the live thing, but I really like the YouTube thing because you can actually chat with me and I'll see your chat. I don't have it set up for Facebook. The stream thing that I use, it's kind of goofy and it doesn't register. You have to like pay for a monthly subscription to have cool things on Facebook. Like I could actually run it on my Ritual Madness podcast Facebook. But I don't want to fucking pay for another service. I've already got a ton of different services. I'm trying a new internet thing here. I had fantastic internet at my other studio, and barely had any drop frames. So it will we'll be in the middle of a conversation. For you guys who don't know what the OBS thing and all this software and shit you have to use to be able to do this thing, you've got to have your settings properly done or you'll start dropping frames. And it's basically me in the middle of a conversation and just go and then go into the next part of the conversation when it comes back on. So I have like all these things that I'm trying to do with this new studio, new internet, a new way to run it, some different camera stuff, some different lighting ideas, more creativity in the room. The room is more open. I could probably have a couple more guests than I did at the last place, but I really like the fact that I can be more intimate, with just a couple cats, that are ready to chat about the things that they're about to chat with. I feel like it's more intimate in this studio than the original one, which was a lot larger, had a lot more shit in the room. I'm definitely going to fill this thing up, and there's a lot of space for more artwork on the walls. There's so much that you guys can't see until I get that third camera. I've got, what's up, Run Stick Man? I'm not sure who you are, but what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Thank you to Adam D, as always, the guitar player from Wolf Mask, one of the guitar players from. You are the single guitar player from Wolf Mask, aren't you, buddy? Always joining me on the podcast and always giving me great questions and kind of interacting with me, and I really appreciate Adam's input all the time. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. I'm trying a new kind of setup with this thing too, so you'll hear my table noise a little bit more, but I feel like it won't be when I get the angles back from the when I get the angles from the third camera. I feel like it's gonna open the room up because I want to be able to switch from all three camera angles as we're going to kind of give you the feel of the room and the vibe of how everything's going. Oh, what's up, Matt? Thank you for joining me, dude. I appreciate it very much. Matt from Volsunga Saga is in the chat as well. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, join us on the YouTube channel because it's easier for me to chat with you if you want to ask questions or anything like that. Really what I wanted to do is kind of update people on me getting back at this. And I didn't really take that much time off. I took like 1 week off or whatever from moving. But I got everything in here. The first couple days of this week, I had some stuff to do. I was actually off of work and I was able to get things in their place and get them where I wanted. And it's starting to kind of take shape. I've got enough space to move around in here a little bit more compared to the other one was just jam packed with shit that I couldn't put on the walls. And I mean, it was just kind of goofy. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I got out of the lease. I ended up finding a place. It is a bit more expensive than I'm used to paying, so it kind of sucks. And I don't, at this particular time with the YouTube channel and with everything else, I don't have income coming from this. And I've been doing it long enough to figure that I'd be able to somewhat, compensate a little bit or pick up subscribers and YouTube people. So if you're watching this on Facebook, please come over to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, then you'll know when we're doing this, or smash the notification so that it'll notify you that we're doing this, doing the podcast. And I'm going to start trying to book more podcasts. And like I said, I had people reaching out to me wanting to get on the show. I know Evernorth wanted to get on the show. I just got a hit from my boy, Matt Rutherford. His new band is going to be doing something real soon. I know a lot of people are in the works of doing some recording. And dude, before you release, I would love to do some exclusive stuff on the podcast, have you come in, talk about the disc and get some time. I really wanted to, and I know I just did, let me back up. I'm fucking Jojo the Circus Boy over here. I'm excited to be in this thing. I'm excited to see I'm not dropping frames from this new internet setup that I have. I feel like the room is giving me energy. So it feels great. I wanted to go back to the very beginning, the very first song that we came in. I didn't make a live card for it, but I also, fucking dude's killing me over here. So the first song that we came into, I didn't make a live card for it. Maniacal Force, Clouds of Death. I believe this is a 2022 release. Well, I might be wrong on that one. 2020 maybe even on this Maniacal Depraved Existence release. But they are playing, and I know that I just did a podcast with these guys. Let me get through the little scroll there. But tomorrow night at Skyway Theater Studio B, I want to shout this out again because it's a huge monument for these kids to be doing this type of thing in the venue that they're doing it in, with the bands that they're doing it with. There's so much significance to these young kids in so many aspects of this, me bringing it up and me doing a podcast with them last week. Here's the thing. It is their very first CD release. And I felt like if I could help them do something cool with it, they put the bands together. Jack put this whole thing together. We had contacts in between the whole thing. And it was great to see him like take to it like a duck to fucking water, man. Being a young cat, he was able to put three great bands for their CD release. They're doing it in a great venue with a great sound system. And I know there's other shows going on tomorrow night. And by all means, I totally get it if you're not able to make it, but this is their very first CD release show. They've got a fantastic lineup. Maniacal Force. I wasn't able to find Infuriate on iTunes when I was looking for this, because I was going to do some Infuriate and then I was going to do Maniacal Force, Visceral Reaction, and some Maul all in this whole thing. So Infuriate is one of family friends with Jack and his dad Bucky and wife, and Bucky's wife. But they've been in the scene for a while. They do some punk rock stuff. Very significant for those guys to put that band on the bill. Maniacal Force, I've absolutely loved these dudes. Fantastic cats as people, and their music is fucking phenomenal. Great old school feel death metal stuff. Perfect for this bill. The Visceral Reaction, young cats coming up, doing their first CD release. All ages show. We don't do a lot of, I have not booked all ages shows in several years. And to be able to do this for these cats is fucking epic for me. Having Maul come down and just top off the rest of this night, it's going to be fantastic. All ages. I swear to God, this shit will be done by 11:30, 12 at the latest, I think. And it's just a perfect night for everybody to come down and support these young kids in our next real generation, them. And, there's so many Begravement. And I said those guys' names a few times, and the Strapato Cats, and, all these young bands that are popping up all over the place, and all these young musicians, man. I'm so old school. It is so refreshing. And I think, Matt just said it here. I like how there seems to be more young bands popping up, and the shit rules. Absolutely, Matt. And I mean, you guys at Capital Guitars are a proponent of that. I mean, you playing local bands while you're working there and supporting these local bands. It is just as much of an important thing as me, coming on here and bullshitting about these bands and propping these shows up, man. It's significant for us to help each other, get the word out for these young bands and make more opportunities for fucking all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's huge. You giving back to the younger cats, man. I absolutely love it. And it seems very significant to me. So if you're able to do it again, like I said, tomorrow evening starts at 6:30. It's going to be a fantastic show. We've got Infuriate opening the whole thing, Maniacal Force after them, Visceral Reaction, and then Maul topping off the night. And I'll tell you what, I got to see Maul last summer at the Slam Dakota Fest, and their fucking bass player's mullet is worth the price of admission as it is right there. They just throw down that hard. Fucking such a fun, energetic band to see, to close the night after, Visceral's going to do a nice long set and play all these new tunes that they've got coming up. And each one of them, man, each one of these songs on this album is good, solid death metal from 17, 18-year-old kids, man, 16, 17, 18. They're so fucking young, man. And I told Jack, when these guys reminded me of myself being a young man trying to, come up and make a network with people and fucking get your name out there, man. And I actually was telling the story to a buddy before I started the podcast. He came and checked out the studio, and we were bullshitting. And he said, "Man, you should just take these kids under your wing and try to be their manager." And I just kind of chuckled, and I'm like, "You're the second person that said this to me in the last week," and I would be fucking honored to do something like that. But who the hell wants to listen to some old asshole that try to tell you what you should be doing? It's not like that, like it was when you were, a young man. But yeah, man, it was just kind of cool to hear that too. That taking and showing passion in what I'm doing here, and just I don't know. I'm fucking rambling now. But yeah, great show tomorrow, 6:30. Music starts at 7. And like I said, it will be done early. And I know, like I said, there are other bands playing across town, and all fantastic bills too. Some really, really fantastic bands. And, talking about this particular show and booking it, and the process of showing a younger cat, the dude's already done cool shows. You know what I'm saying? These kids have already done cool shows. They hooked up with Bobby, and they played, they've opened up for some big bands already. And it's great to see. It's great to have a hand in helping, younger people. Adam brought it up to me a couple times on the podcast, and we've talked to other guests on the podcast, via, Adam in the chat, talking about gatekeeping and people that are trying to keep other people out of certain things and not, necessarily allowing them to get the opportunities that some people may deserve or that they've worked so fucking hard for. And you've got people that are trying to keep them down or keep them out of what they're trying to earn and do. I don't want to be that guy. I do like to help people. I do like to fucking, help people get shows together, but I do want people to, put their best foot forward as well. I know I was talking with my friend about this specific situation. After COVID, I think it brought a lot of things into perspective for people, as far as being an artist and being creative. And I think that it's like, everybody's so gung-ho because they realized all of a sudden some dumb shit that you have no control over, our government or other governments or scientists or whatever the fuck you want to say, how this all happened and how COVID all happened. Not my place to say. I'm not a fucking professional, but I know when I see bands coming out of this pandemic situation, this panic that everybody's in, instantly you want to play twice as much as you were before and twice as hard as you did before, because you want to express that, because it could happen and be over again in the next fucking 2 months or something, and tomorrow it could be different. But what I'm saying is that I think that I realize that people are really pushing hard to play and to get out there and to capitalize on everybody wanting to go see shows again and get out there and see that. I totally understand that. But what we have to understand as a community in music is that not to oversaturate what you're doing and get the fuck out of your own town. And I mean, an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours or more away from where you're at is a good bet to spread the love of this particular music scene, but also a way to make contacts and make, connections with other people in other scenes. And I think that's almost more important than being, a local hero. I think that I've seen a lot of bands go out of town and do a lot better outside of their own scene and You know, there's bands like Incinerate, there's bands like Bludgeon, there's bands like, you know, I mean, fuck, you can name so many that have jumped in a van and just gone and done things instead of worrying about being in this town all the time and being a local hero here. And I've seen bands that do way better outside of this place and then come back here and just get shit on by their own scene because they're not playing in every single fucking weekend, man. And I don't think people are taking into consideration the ramifications that it has, not only on your band, but other bands that you're kind of kicking in the dick every time that you take a show. Now you got one band who may take a break or go into writing mode and disappear for a year and then come out and then play every fucking weekend. It's still, you're not doing justice to your material. You're not doing justice to your draw. You're not doing justice to the bands that are playing with you. Now, if I book a show for you, right, and this is the gatekeeper thing that I think runs into this, you know, people will say it's more personal than it is professional. And this is not the case. Professionally, let me tell you this. When you go to a venue, what the fuck does a venue want from you? The venue wants you to bring people into their establishment. They want you to have patrons and people that are going to buy drinks and buy your merchandise. That's what you want. But the venue is just as important as the fan, if not more, because if you're not bringing people to buy drinks and spend money in their venue, pay the cover charge, you're getting a long guest list to let out every cool fucking person that you know in to make the atmosphere that much cooler. Yeah, there's a way to do that. That's benefits of that. But there's also a benefit of saying, nobody but my mama and my girlfriend are getting in for free. Right? You are not taking money out of the band's pockets that are there with you playing that show. And if you play a show 2 weeks before the show that you just booked, you're kicking them in the dick again because, you know, a band like Maul or, you know, Pursuit or, you know, Mortis Skuld or, you know, Vermilion or fucking Yatuma, or I mean, there's so many bands that come out of town to play in our music scene because it is a booming, talented, beautiful music scene. But again, taking every single fucking show is not only kicking yourself in the dick and not giving yourself respect for your material, respect for all the hard work that you do, but the time and effort that you put into it, you're also fucking other people that are not put it, you know, that are getting kicked in the dick and not even knowing it, right? So, yeah, they played 2 weeks ago, but they're from out of town and they don't know you played 2 weeks ago. So now you got the people that came to see you 2 weeks ago. Did they like your show good enough to come the next 2 weeks, 2 weeks later? Maybe, maybe not. Do you keep them guessing? Do you have a gimmick? Do you have something that makes your show stand out? Do you have members in your band that you can look over at and go, holy fucking shit, these guys are throwing down as much as I'm throwing down. Are you selling it short? Or are you overdoing it? You know what I mean? Like, I go on these rants because I think about this shit a ton. I think about it a ton because I've done these stupid things. And I've experienced these stupid things, and I've experienced low attendance, and I've experienced people not staying to the very end. And I think that was one of the things that stood out from the older times than the newer times. Like, you know, people want to get out of the venue and get back to their part of town so they can have their last drink of the night, you know. They don't want to stay for the whole show. They don't support the whole thing because maybe they saw one of those 4 bands 2 weeks ago. Food for thought, people. That's all I'm saying. Let me see here. What did Mr. Adam D say? Oh shit, we got Danny Extreme up in the house. Dan, how you doing, brother? Good to have you back in the chat with us, man. I appreciate you very much. Coming deep from Rhode Island area. Thank you very much for jumping in, Danny. Mr. Greg, you're a great person. I think that you'd be a great band manager. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it very much. You know, and we all know that it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and nobody's going to care about your band as much as you care about your band. So when you do find people that want to help you, it's good to do that. And I would love to help these guys. I think that they're hungry enough. I think that that with the right the right direction, pushes in the right direction, I think that these kids could really do a lot of great things. And I have a lot of hope for these guys. And, if I can help them get some gigs, I definitely will. I told my friend that I really wanted to see where they're at. And, fuck, maybe they don't even want me to fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just happy that I'm helping them. And I appreciate that too. So it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm not gonna push it. I would love to help them though. Yes, Mr. Greg, you're not a gatekeeper in any way, shape, or form. Thank you, brother. You're a boss. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. Apothec and Volsunga Saga are doing a power weekend. First weekend in June. We are hitting up Fargo, Omaha, and Mankato. Dude, that is absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you what, man, if you haven't had a chance to check out the new Volsunga Saga, they've added some shit. And our boy Joey is the shit. Not that they weren't they were a bad band before. I think the last few times that I saw Volsunga Saga, they tightened up and got better and better each time that I saw them. And I saw them maybe 4 times in the last year, and I thought, holy shit, these guys are getting better. And then their bass player unfortunately stepped down, which is, it kind of sucks, but they picked up a great fucking dude, that is in that realm, and they did great. Joey's a fantastic bass player. Fantastic guitar player too. Dan Extreme says gatekeeping is bullshit, especially in metal. The OGs need to guide these young kids to know how to do the shit right. So they hinder their growth in their scene in general. Dude, you are fucking absolutely right with that, dude. And you know what, man? This is what my friend was telling me. My boy Artemis. Artemis came in and checked out you guys may have seen Artemis Best of 2022. We sat down and did that. And I think 2021 as a matter of fact. But he said to me, he thought that I would be a good mentor for these young cats because I have seen a lot of things and I have experienced a lot of shit. And I was like, yeah, I get it. And then kind of pleading the case all at the same time. Well, he wasn't like refuting it. He was telling me that, it would be a good thing for me. And I just was like, the only way that I would, that they just seem open, like Dan said to me, he goes, Dan goes, dude, these kids are eating it up on the last podcast. And I really appreciated that because I felt like they were like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, they wanted to continue doing this, and I appreciate that so much from them guys. Again, if you're watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I am sitting in my new studio. I am happy to be up and doing this again. It's really just a kind of a check-in too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Please, if you're watching it on Facebook, I'm not looking at the Facebook feed right now or the chat on Facebook. Do me a favor, come over to the YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube. Hit the notification so every time that I go online to stream or whatever, you can join us in the chat. I am slowly going to be figuring this out where I'm going to have chat inside the camera bubbles too and get all this figured out. I have been working on it at home. I have a different setup at home that does speak as the person in the chat will say it, and it'll pop it up in the corner. I've got it set up at home. I wanted to get into this new studio and I wanted to kind of fucking do some shit. So I'm excited. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the people who have subscribed in the last 2 weeks, last month. I appreciate it so much. I jumped up like 16 subscribers and I appreciate it. Doing this, the only way, there's a few different ways. My friend Brock is now doing his movie review stuff on Twitch. And I've thought about doing Twitch as well. I've thought about doing a couple different things to try to up my game a little bit, and he's monetized on that already, and it's so cool to see a friend pick up something that that you've been doing for so long. And not that he wasn't thinking about it before, but he has been on the podcast. I feel like sometimes you inspire people to do these things and then they do great things, and you could be one of them sorry motherfuckers that are sitting there going, man, I wish I had that. I wish I was monetized. Woo-hoo-hoo. Or you can just go, fucking good for you, dude. Make it happen, and share. Cross pollinate with your with your stream, with someone else's stream, and try to work it. So the only way you can really do this is to get people to subscribe to your YouTube channel and hit 1,000. I am at like 350, and I thought there was a point where I was picking up subscribers on the daily and like doing these little shorts and like trying to do all of this stuff, and it just seemed like a lot of work for just a little bit of kickback on it. You know what I mean? So please subscribe, fucking like it, get your band on here. And again, I'll say it again. I'm in a new studio. I'm looking to book more podcasts. I am going to be picking up some more bands and hopefully getting more people in here to do some podcasts, man. I want to give out a different email address, and I want to make sure that I have it. So I'm going to go on my phone real quick and see if I can make sure I have the correct email address, because I have like 15 of them. And if you are looking to get booked or on the podcast, or want to send me some material, I know I said ritualmadnesspodcast@gmail.com. That one is just bombarded because I signed up to so many different record labels, and I get literally like 100 or more emails a day from distro companies and label things, and I just went about it the wrong way. So if you want to get in touch with me, booking.rmp@gmail.com. You can send me stuff there. I will definitely get it there, because I don't have a lot of things that have that particular email address right now. So the booking there would be good if you want to do some stuff at the Skyway. Now, I want to tell people this. I have been turning down shows at the Skyway and people wanting to book there, and I want to tell you why. Some people that have reached out to me to do shows at the Skyway, again, have been so excited to be back in the creative space again and show space and being on stage again, that they're playing so much that I feel like it's not doing the venue justice. And I really want to help this venue, or help the shows that I'm doing at this venue, because they don't need my fucking help. They're all over the internet. They've been doing so many great shows lately, and they got so many coming up. Avatar and fucking, I think they just did like Rotting Christ the other night, or yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I mean, they've got so many shows coming up. I believe Fear Factory's there. I don't know. There's a ton, shit ton. But local bands, if you want to put on a good show, please put your good foot forward and don't book shows if you're looking to do a show at the Skyway with me, I would love to help you book it. I would love to build a show around the people you want to jam with. But as a favor to me and a favor to my shows and whatever I do at the Skyway, I would just appreciate if you get a date to not do shows before or after at least a couple weeks, because it helps us in promoting. It helps us in getting these shows in there in a good solid showing. The last show that I did there was Mirror Being Dreams Aside CD release show. And then I think I did one more after that. And both of those shows, and I know it was the bands, obviously, but both of those shows did fantastic. And that's what I want, is to put the good foot forward to make this a good, viable spot for us to continue to do shows at. And I know the North Star's doing great shows. I know the Underground Cafe or whatever it is. I have not been there yet, but I've seen some people putting on good shows there. Jesus, there's so many different spots that they're doing shows now at the Turf Club. And I mean, it seems like First Avenue's got Carcass coming there. They're putting their hand back into the metal spot, the Caboose. And then, Bobby's doing shows all over the place. I just want to put if you're going to want to book a show, again, that's booking.rmp@gmail.com. Hit me up, man. I want to book people on the podcast. I want to get, and if you want to send me your material, that's a good spot to do that as well. If you're watching, thank you very much. I want to definitely, do the right thing and get some stuff out there. And honestly, if you want to book if you want me to promote your show specifically on my podcast, we can work something out. And I would really like to try to make some sort of money off of it. And it sounds silly, but if I do 4 podcasts a month, and I promote every single podcast for weeks on after I do it, I think it's beneficial for all of us to do it. And why not help me keep my lights on? So there's a way to donate if you want. You can go to ritualmanispodcast.com and scroll down and there's a donate button. You can do it that way. Or you can contact me on booking.rmp at gmail. booking.rmp, Ritual Madness Podcast, rmp at gmail.com. And let's talk something out, man. Let's figure out how we can, I can make these fancy cards with your information, and we could talk about the show. You can call into the show. I've got it hooked up that way. You can call me. We can put you on Bluetooth. We can talk about the show. While we have a guest in here, you can shoot the shit with the guest. I would like to make it a thing that I would promote bands on a solid deal. But I would like to try to make some sort of incentive off of it. It helps me want to do these podcasts because I know that I owe someone promotion on it. Also, it will help the bands, man. It will help other people know your shit. And obviously, I will do as many pushes on people's shows that I can if we can figure out a way to do it, man. That would be. Could you send me that card? Oh yeah, I totally could. Yeah. Let me do it, Jack. If you're watching, I could do that to you. I can send that to you just after I'm done. I will definitely do that for you, buddy. Yeah. So I would like to promote some shows, and I would definitely. And I know it's silly because we're not making any money, but you spend $25 on flyers and make flyers. This is a multimedia thing. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's on, all my stuff, including my website. So there's a lot of traffic in between there, man. A lot of people see it. So it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I think I would, and if I like your the shit out of it, obviously, that's why I'm here doing this for Young Master Jack and the Visceral guys tomorrow night, March 4th at Skyway Theater, Studio B, Mall, Visceral Reaction. Let me see here. Mechanical Force, Maniacal Force. Sorry, I looked at the thing and it said Maniacal Farts at Skyway tomorrow. Good one, Jack. Maniacal Force and Infuriate. That is 6:30 doors, 7 p.m. showtime. 10 in advance. You can get your tickets at skywaytheater.com or 12 at the door. So make sure that you come down. And speaking of shows, I have another one here that I'd like to promote and press. Ritual Madness Podcast presents Midwest Decimation Tour 2023 with Casket Robbery. God damn, I hate death metal logos. Let me see here. Something of Faith. I can't read it right now, and it's so damn small. Let's see if I can pull it up on my big picture here. I feel like I should get some glasses. I said that the last podcast too, and I totally fucking mean it. I need some glasses. March 31st at Skyway Theater, Studio B. Descent of Man and Moloch on that show as well. It is Friday the 31st of March, 6:30 p.m. doors and 7 music, 10 in advance, 12 at the door. Skywaytheater.com. Get tickets for that. That is going to be a fantastic show as well. Also, what else we got coming up here? The Midwest Death Fest is coming up, and this is my friend Natalie Quirk's baby right here. They're doing a road to Midwest Metal Fest as well over at Zimmer G Brewing. You can see it up on the screen here. June 25th. And then let's see here. June 25th and June 23rd. It looks like a 5 from that font. June 23rd. Why would it be road to Metal Fest if it was the day after, you dumbass? June 23rd at Zimmer G. You can see it on the screen here. 6 p.m. doors. Looks like 10 p.m. $10 at the door. 21 plus only. Bleed the Victim. Let me see here. Deterioration, which is an absolutely fucking murderous band. Bludgeon, Bray Road, and Pursuit, all on the bill there. And then you go over to the Midwest Death Fest the following night at Minnesota Music Cafe in St. Paul. 21 plus. Tickets are 20 in advance, 25 at the door. 5 p.m. Door on that deal. Again, Saturday, June 24th. Immortal Suffering, Bludgeon, does that say Rottenness? Yeah. No. I can't fucking read that shit either. Torment, Deterioration. Am I getting old because I can't read death metal logos anymore? Does anybody else have that issue? Does anybody else with a podcast murder people's fucking logos because they're blind and can't read? Yeah, so there's we've got a ton of shows coming up. I mean, I think I said it a couple weeks back that 2023 is going to be definitely one of those years for just epic fucking shows coming through town. Not only the local shows, but the national shows as well. I mean, it's just amazing. Again, if you can see on the screen there, that's another show that's going on tomorrow night. There's so many things going on tomorrow night, but the main one is that CD release party over at the Skyway Theater. That's going to be a good one. It's going to be a barn burner, I'll tell you what. But there are some great ones. This one is one I want to talk about as well. March 18th, the return of MC Rents. Now, if you're a rap fan, and you're not hip to MC Rents. MC Rents is a hip hop cat from St. Paul, Minneapolis, St. Paul. This dude has been around for fucking ever. I was hip to this cat from a buddy of mine who did some artwork for me. And his son is a big tattoo artist in town right now. But he turned me on to MC Rents, and dude, I was blown away by this cat. He is so creative, got some of the best beats that he creates himself, all these rhymes, man, and he's got a hell of a show coming up here on March 18th. It is at Club Underground over in Northeast Minneapolis. You can see that at MC Rents, www.mcrentz.com. Also performing Out of Bounds. Jesus Christ, I'm blind as fuck right now. It looks like Mearness, Shogun. RDC Barboza, Keith Bridges, and DJ D-Bomb are all going to be there. That is 9 p.m. start, $10 at the door, 21 plus, Club Underground again. It's right on the screen there. All these shows are all listed on Ritual Madness Podcast on Facebook. Here's another one, March 18th at the North Star Bar. This one's fucking sick because Viogression is a band from Milwaukee, I believe, from the old Scotty Town, and they're old school as shit. They've been around as long, if not longer, than I have, so they're definitely heavy as shit. Echoes of the Fallen, King Goro, and Moloch on that one as well. And that that's a solid lineup. That's a good show. So definitely check that out. I am going to do something here right now. I'm going to go back to this so you guys know that this thing is going on tomorrow. And I'm actually going to play one of the songs from these young cats' new album, The Visceral Reaction, the Seventh Mass Extinction, or I believe that's what it is, right? Let me see here. I want to make sure I get that told out right here. I've got it up and down here on this fucking thing. Computers are just ridiculous. Doing this all yourself and not having a guy running your computer is such a pain in the ass. But yes, let's listen to some Visceral Reaction. This one's called Thou Shalt Not Kill. Let's take a listen. We'll be back. snap, man. These young cats, man. Would you believe those kids are fucking 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, dude? To me, that is absolutely nuts, man. These dudes are fucking solid, man. Good job on that one, Jack. Way to go, man. Way to go, Visceral Cats. Don't forget to, you saw that up there the whole time, right? Go check out this CD release show tomorrow night. It's going to be a blast, man. I'm really excited to see, I remember being a young cat and it was like that, man. You got your buddies from high school. They didn't even necessarily like that type of shit, but they wanted to come and support you and see how chaotic, you know what I mean? Like even people that weren't going to First Avenue and getting in the mosh pit and doing all this crazy shit, like they wanted to, they wanted to experience that a little bit. So what's the best way to do it? To go to your friend's show and experience that firsthand before going to a giant Pantera Metallica show where there's just going to be complete mayhem mosh pit, So I am excited for you cats, man. I'm really stoked, and I'm happy you guys are doing it, man. It's very, very cool. I'm glad that you guys took to it, man. It's awesome. It's fantastic, man. And it sounds great. Big shout out to 1459 and Will Maravellis, as always, man. That dude's a beast. Recording and making the shit sound great. So good job on that stuff, man. If you guys want to hear more of that, please come support these dudes. They got a bunch of new merch, and they got they got their CDs and cassettes. That's pretty cool too. I think a little taste of the old school back there with the the good stuff. So congrats on that. So come down tomorrow. Come hang with me, man. Buy me a beer. I'll buy you a beer back. How about that? We'll drink for drink, man. Come hang out. It's going to be a good time. And it'll be done by like 11:30, man. So you got time to go hang out with your homies and party like real rock stars do. I'm kidding. So yeah, there's so many shows coming up, man, that it's like, you want to, in a podcast, you only have I've been trying to like bring it down from the 3 hours that we started with, I think the longest one we ever did was 6 hours long. It was just ridiculous. I remember getting tired during that, but it was with Chad Hanks from American Head Charge, and it was fantastic. And I had Jordan Swanson here to help me, talk more and bring up other subjects. And I miss having Jordan on the podcast, man. He was a blast. So yeah, there's a lot of great shows coming up. DRI's coming back to town April 15th at the Caboose. Semtex is opening that one up. I know Vader's coming to town, and I believe we haven't been able to announce it yet, but there is one local opener on that thing. I'm not positive if I can announce it yet, but Vader, Christian, Decrepit Birth at the Skyway Theater. That one's going to be a bruiser of a show. That one is, what date is that one? I want to make sure I got the date on that. April 4th is the date on that one too. Again, that's going to be a badass show too. April 4th, the Vader, Christian, Decrepit Birth show at Skyway Theater. That's going to be a good one. Sunless has got a big thing coming up too with Suffering Hour, Noctambulist from Denmark at the Mortimers. Yeah, Mortimers is another place too that's been doing a lot of shows too, which is fantastic. The Winona Metal Fest 3. I gotta make sure I pump this one too, because not only is are these a band that I booked on March 31st on that one, Moloch, but the guys from Descent of Man put this show on the last couple years, and it's April 15th. Descent of Man, Apothec, Hardship, Bleed, Chain, and Moloch down in Winona at the No Name Bar. Go check that one out. You'll have to enlarge it on your screen if you can. Or go to Ritual Madness Podcast on Facebook here, and you will be able to see all of these with your own eyes, and you can murder those logos yourself. So do that. Also, I think I talked about these guys on the other podcast. Big shout out to Bill Hansen from the Roar of the Underground. He did a swap meet, heavy metal swap meet last month, and he did it at Under Pressure Brewing Company, and I've been promoting some of their stuff too, and I really like that place a lot. The decor in the place is very nighty, very like old school antique furniture around there, and dude, I think they said 25 beers on tap that they made themselves, and they pull some out and start new ones, and they've always got new things going on. The people, the family that put that swap meet on at Under Pressure Brewing Company in Golden Valley, dude, such cool people too, man. It is a very good, a very, very good brewery. If you get a chance to go check out Under Pressure, do that. Let me see here. April 15th again. Blood War Vault and Chuck Dead at Cadence. Cadence, another place, a coffee shop over in St. Paul. Right down the street, I believe, from the North Star Bar. So that's another good spot. If you're watching on Facebook, please come over to the YouTube channel and jump in the chat with me. I cannot see your comments in the Facebook deal. It is not hooked up to my chat box. So if you want to chat with me or throw some questions at me, definitely shoot me a chat over on YouTube, and subscribe and all that other good stuff. Again, if you want to help support the podcast, if you got, I know that it's times are tough anyways, money's tight, that type of stuff. But if you want to help keep the doors open on the podcast, and I just moved into a new space and it's actually costing me a little bit more money to be in here, go to ritualmadnesspodcast.com. I've got 275 episodes up there right now. Or you can look at the ones that are on YouTube. But Ritual Madness Podcast, I've got all the past episodes, audio and video. I'm on Stitcher, iHeartRadio. I hate radio. And please subscribe to all of that stuff. Come and follow us on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. I try to promote as many shows that I see in town and out of town. I've been doing shows in Sioux Falls, Fargo, lots of Wisconsin shows. I think, ones that are further out from me. I think I've done some stuff in Omaha. I've done some stuff in Idaho. I like to promote. I like to try to get the love out. Carcass coming to town April 19th at the First Avenue. With, I believe Sacred Reich is on that bill as well, I believe. It is Municipal Waste, Sacred Reich, and Creeping Death, brought to you by The Pit on 93X. The last bastion of metal on the celestial radio here in the Twin Cities. 93X is not the most desirable thing to listen to, if you ask me. Celestial radio in general, but 93X has gone downhill, in my opinion, with their music selection. You know what I mean? It's just that they used to be so much better, and The Pit is kind of like that thing that gives the tip of the hat to the underground a little bit, and I appreciate that. And they do shows like this, and who doesn't want to see Carcass April 19th at First Avenue with some badass fucking bands? Like I said, do me a favor, go to YouTube, subscribe, go to Facebook. Check out all of these shows coming up. There is a ton. I've got all the way out to, I want to say, excuse me for my slurpy slurps. Drooling on myself. There's a show I want to talk about too. Deep, I think October. Yeah, the Wu-Tang show is October, I think. In Minneapolis, October 7th, Wu-Tang and Nas. That is a sick New York show right there, man. Sick show. I would love to see that show. But, yeah, October all the way up. There's another show I'd like to talk about, too. September 28th through the 30th, 2023, 18 plus at the Crucible in Madison, Wisconsin. Blades of Steel Festival 3.0. Randy Kastner, the NYDM, Big Papa here. He's got a fucking fantastic show set up with lots of great bands. Where does he not have that posted with all the bands on it? You can see more. There we go. Flotsam and Jetsam, Yag, Panzer, Exciter, Riot V, Cyclone, and I believe that is the Cyclone Temple. Cats, Massacre, Blind Illusion, Artillery, Cardiac Arrest, Morbid Saint, Solicitor, The Lightbringer of Sweden, Saint Damon, Command, Carnugia, something like that. Harbinger, Avenger of Blood. I played with those guys in fucking Arizona way back in the day. Vapor, Bray Road, Vermilion, The Lost Tribe of Moon. There's a ton of different bands. You can see it on the screen. You can go to Ritual Madness Podcast at on Facebook here and definitely see all of these deals on Facebook. And I keep these updated like all the way. And if I see another one, I'll definitely put it up there. If your band has a show coming up and you want to make sure that I get it, come and drop this shit. Send me a message, man. Send me that flyer that you're trying to promote in a message, and I'll definitely drop it in the list here and have you and have it. I'm not sure if I'll definitely put it in the list, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to it to talk to it. A lot of times I'm not trying to promote anything but what the band that's on the podcast at that particular time. So there are ways to do that, and I was talking about that earlier. So definitely, let's make it happen. I definitely want to do that. If you want to get some things or get booked on the show, booking.rmp at gmail.com is a great way to reach me. I don't have a lot of things on there. There's not 100 emails coming in and out of there. Ritual Madness Podcast at Gmail as well is another way, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to get to you in a timely fashion. It's just so many fucking things coming at me, and it's hard. So again, thank you for watching this little update in my new studio. I appreciate everybody watching and chiming in and chatting with me on the YouTube channel chat box deal here. So thank you very much for watching. Big shout out to the Cats and Visceral Reaction. Again, tomorrow night, March 4th, at the Skyway Theater, Studio B, Infuriate, Maniacal Force, Mechanical Farts, Visceral Reaction, and Maul at the Skyway Theater. All ages, special all age engagement tomorrow night. $10 in advance, $12 at the door. Get your tickets in advance all the way up to showtime at skywaytheater.com. So yeah, make sure that you come out and check that out. It's going to be a fun time. I am really just here to chat bullshit. I'm excited to be in a new studio. I'm excited for more podcasts and you to watch some of these podcasts. So thank you for tuning in for this little update, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow night at Studio B. I'm gonna run out of here with some good stuff as well. Excuse me. But if there's any bands that you would like to see on here and rap with me on this deal, I would love to hear those suggestions as well. And again, you can reach out to me at booking.rmp at gmail. Booking.rmp at gmail. Hit me up, shoot me a message. Let me know how you think the show's going. Tell me what you think I could improve. Give me some suggestions. I'm trying to do the best I can to get this thing to maintain it and keep it going. I feel like I haven't dropped any frames. I feel like the last hour and 10 minutes have been a solid representation of the show. And my despite my rant about booking too much and doing my opinion on things, I've got lots of those, and I think everybody does. That's opinions are like assholes type of thing. We all got one, and they fucking stink. So thank you very much for joining me for this little thing here. I'm gonna play some Maul. I think I'm gonna go out with the headliner for tomorrow night. I'll play a little bit of Maul. That Visceral Reaction song is off their new album that they just dropped just the other day, as a matter of fact. The 7th Mass Extinction. Go check it out. It is on all the streaming apps right now, and I think it is a very solid representation of Visceral Reaction being young cats throwing out some heavy fucking music. And again, it's their very first CD release tomorrow night. So I am so stoked to be a part of that. And I'm so stoked to be able to help them guys do their thing tomorrow night. So please come down. It's going to be a blast, man. I really think it's going to be a fucking fun time. Solid kids, man. They're, putting their best foot forward and being honestly the next generation of this fucking this music scene and what we have to offer here in the Twin Cities, man. As far as underground music, man, there is a ton of talented people in this music scene, and I appreciate pretty near every one of them. So I'm going to try to promote and do what I can to get their names out there and their music out there. So listen to some Mal and not listen to me talk anymore, okay? I appreciate you all for joining me. Listen to some Mal, you motherfuckers.